Dr. Kemp here, the Hammond Doc, and I'm here with Brother Mike Phillips, all the way up in Cary, North Carolina. How you doing, Brother Mike?
I am doing great.
What are we working on tonight?
We've got us a 147 amp here, completely rebuilt from the ground up.
All right. Talk to me, Doctor.
Well, we were just sitting here talking a little bit, going through the things we've changed and talking about some of the circuit, the good stuff, the bad stuff, and the topic of people servicing these amps without really paying close attention to what they're doing. They might be a good tech, but they might get a little careless about something. We all can do that.
Okay.
And I have a grave concern that you asked me to share with the people in the group, and that's what I want to do. And
let's talk to them.
If you'll be the cameraman here,
yes,
then I'll show you what my concerns are, and we can go from there.
All right.
We've always said and warned that these things have some very high voltages in them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one does not have the tubes installed, so the voltages are going to be even higher, but that's part of what we're talking about. So if you look at it right now, the main voltage here, if you look on my meter here, this is an auto-ranging meter, so you have to sort of pay attention to what it's doing here. That's actually showing it's got 21 volts on it because we've been playing with it. But let's get rid of that because I want us to get the story right. But if you look at it now, hopefully we're going to have low voltage. So we're down to less than a volt, which is fine. So what happens is we apply power to this. We've got 120 volts coming in. We're going to apply power to it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we do, the voltage, one hand only, we're now up at 504 volts.
Yes, indeed.
That'll kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be very careful with that. A lot of people know to be careful with that because it's tube type equipment. You have 40 volts in solid state. You've got 500 volts in tube type equipment. So what happens is people working on these things without the tubes in them, testing the power supply, fuse blows. We've got to find out whether it's a bad transformer, something like that. We can test it without the tubes in it. And here's what I'm concerned about. I'm going to turn the power off. You see the power switch right here?
Yes.
Power's off. There's no power going to this thing.
Okay.
If I were to measure the 120 volts coming in, there won't be any voltage on it. So if my meter here, we get it reset. And here's what the problem is. If we go over here and check the voltage that we just checked a while ago, we still got 450 volts there. This thing's not powered on.
Right.
It's not powered on. So we could sit here another 15, 20, 30 minutes and it's still going to have voltage on it because the capacitor here is brand new. Everything in it is brand new. You go back and check that voltage. How much is it going down? I get my hand on it. We're still at 450 volts.
Yes, indeed.
If I go in there and touch that thing, I'm going to light up like a Christmas tree.
Goodness gracious.
And it's only September. So this is why, and you got to be careful. People are going to say, Mike, you're being careless too. Well, to some extent, that's true. Don't do what I do. Just do what I say. So I'm going to go in here, and what I've got here's a bleeder resistor. There's no special value. One side is connected to ground. The other side is, this is a 3,000 ohm. You could do a 4,000, a 10,000, whatever you want to use. Just I wouldn't go any smaller than that. And then you go in here. Don't touch it. Don't let it touch you. Go over there and touch it on that terminal on the capacitor. Now I'm going to put my meter probe in there, and now we're down to, that's millivolts. Don't let that meter fool you. That's less than 1 volt.
Okay.
So it doesn't have any voltage on there. Now, there are actually 2 terminals in here. That one's got a 1 volt on it. But now with this thing disconnected, I can stick my fingers in there all I want to. Don't do this. Don't do what I'm doing. just do it. I've been doing this a long time. So I'm concerned that you remember, if you're going to service an amp without the tubes in it, this thing will remember longer than your wife will remember you haven't done what you're supposed to do.
All right now.
And that's a long time. So be careful.
All right, Michael. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Dr. Kemp, the Hammond Doc. Peace out.